Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome into the CryptoLogic Podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, man. It is Monday, so virtually you guys used to feel bad. But, now that the CryptoLogic Podcast is here, you probably feel a little better now. You know what I'm saying? We get to talk about crypto, have a good day, have a good conversation.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time, man. So hopefully you guys find some value today. If you do, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, because you don't want to miss out on any of the information we bring to you guys on a daily basis. So I'm gonna shut up now, and let's just dive into the markets. Now, guys, we're down a pretty significant amount compared to last month. We're down a pretty penny, right? We're almost touching that $2 trillion dollar mark, which is kind of crazy. But hey, it is what it is. A lot of FUD going on around right now. But I think the crypto markets will bounce back. A lot of people are kind of freaking out. They're pulling their money, and
There's a bunch of stuff.
it's just a lot of stuff going on.
I was
man.
looking into something. There was a lot of liquidations going on. A lot of
a lot of people were trading on leverage.
yeah, and then there was like a lot of people who had to sell off their futures and stuff like that. It was a liquidation of the, like you said, the leverage trading.
Yeah.
So that happened a lot. That happened, and that caused a lot of whales to manipulate the price. And then we're at a stage where like a couple whales dominate the crypto space in regards of like Bitcoin and all the heavy hitting tokens.
Right.
They make a big move, it tanks the market, and then that obviously causes a ripple effect to all the retail investors. All these, you know what I mean? That's these big red candle. Oh, I gotta get my
That liquidation thing is not a joke, man. If you really don't know what you're doing with liquidations, like understanding borrowing, lending and borrowing, you shouldn't be trading with leverage, man. Even with like Wonderland time, right? Like how you 9-9, that's basically leverage trading.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, like say for instance, someone bought in time at 8,000 on the first dip, right? When it went from 12,000 to 8,000, they bought that dip and then they 9-9'd and they sold half of their bag because they're like, oh, it's never gonna go back to 4,000.
Yeah.
And it went to 4,000 and then it got liquidated. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really understand what you're doing, man. You can't just be, just and then you get liquidated and now you're stuck. You basically all the gains you would have made or whatever, it's all gone now.
It's like the same thing as the time 990 thing. You're like borrowing money to invest, and then like if the price goes down to where it's lower than what you initially borrowed it at, you gotta sell off to cover the difference of.
Well, it literally sells it for you.
Yeah, it sells itself off.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. A lot of they said, I saw it was 10% was being moved every like minute.
Damn.
That's like it was 10% of Bitcoin's market cap was being moved every minute for like 30 minutes straight. Or
people were trading too much, so they were just trading way too much, man.
It was crazy. It's
unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Bitcoin's sitting at 47,000, guys. It could even fall all the way down to 42. When I looked at the charts, that looked like the floor.
That low?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the floor.
I don't think so.
But we'll see, man. I don't know if it'll touch it, but we'll see. Because I feel like this amount of this price currently that Bitcoin is sitting at isn't because of like it's not natural. It's because a lot of people got liquidated. I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't see it going to 42,000, but there's a possibility that
they're supposed to sign the debt ceiling thing today too.
Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen with that too. Ethereum is under $4,000 for a long time. It hasn't been under 4, but recently is now under 4. Binance Coin strong. I mean, I know it says it's down right now, but Binance has actually stayed above 500 and kind of close to that $600 range, and it hasn't really moved much. So Binance is doing pretty good things, even though they're down, but they're still doing pretty good things. Solana's at 156. Cardano's still at 123. XRP has fell a little bit from 86 cents, to 79 cents. So not that big of a drop, but nonetheless it is down some percentage. Polkadot is sitting at $26. Dogecoin is still in the top 10. Wait, Dogecoin was out of the top 10.
Yeah, Luna.
It jumped Luna?
Yeah, because Luna dipped under $60.
Oh man,
like by like freaking $10 billion.
That's crazy.
$10 million, I mean.
So Luna fell out of the top 10, but once everything starts going up again,
$5 million.
Luna's gonna jump Doge, and then AVAX will jump back. Well, Sheep is continuously going down.
Stop telling us about sheep until there's no utility. Jeez, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A game, a swap. I'm like, that's not real utility. They're not. It's just it's for fun. It's hype. It's a fad. It's not. No one's gonna use Shiba Swap to move like very important tokens, and it's just no.
I think Shiba, because I mean I see articles about people like accepting Sheep for you to be able to like use it for like buying food or buying groceries or whatever. So I mean, like, I guess if you want to really buy Sheep with that, I mean, I guess
it's a cash cow for these exchanges to list them. Like, it's stupid for them not to list them.
Yeah,
it's listed on all these exchanges because it's a cash cow. You're gonna buy into Sheep, and the average investors literally has a pipe dream thinking that Sheep will hit $1 one day because it's so cheap. You buy $50 and oh my goodness, I have 47 million tokens. Ha ha ha! I'm gonna be rich. Doesn't even need to hit $1. Doesn't need to hit $1. It needs to hit like 10 cents. It needs to hit like a quarter of a cent. Like, that's what they want. They want you to think that it's never gonna happen.
I mean,
like,
if you listen,
you're not a real crypto investor. That's not how it works.
If you listen to any Sheep investor, that's their little argument. Literally their argument. Like, you know. The thing that doesn't, and it's not even about Sheep though. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not even about Sheep. Any meme coin, in actuality, it's just
bullspit.
How do you expect to put $50 into something, and it not actually, and it make you like millions of dollars? I
keep commenting.
I don't get it.
Keep commenting. Go ahead. Give me all the utility that Sheep has, please. Go ahead. I just want to know. I'm sorry. I don't want to pick on anybody.
CRO has basically retraced a lot from where it's been, man. It could even continue to go lower.
But that's crazy. That's what we talk about. This is not even low to me.
Well, no, it's not low. I mean, it's higher, way higher than where we bought it.
It's low to somebody that bought it at 70, 80 cents.
Exactly. Right now, that's what I'm saying.
Literally still like a 10x.
Well, yeah, but it's only a 10x from somebody who bought it cheaper than this. It's not people that bought at 70, 80 cents. They're looking at CRO like, okay, I need you to go back. I need you to go to $1.
But that's what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying that, I'm like, see, you have to look at it from both point of view. Someone that bought it at 70 cents needs to understand that there's someone that bought it at 3 cents. You just bought it late. So it's not like that's how crypto works. Like, you just got to find the project early enough. Right now, that's the era that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So once you pass that part of buying it early, you now have to turn into the fundamentals of the token itself. So now you're investing into the token and believing where it can go in the future. Now you have to change your mindset of how you are as an investor. If you found it early enough, you can literally just invest as hype. It's all CRO. I don't know what the hell it does, but it's 3 cents. All right, you buy it and then it hits 80 cents. It doesn't matter anymore if it's fundamental or not. You made your money. And if you were to buy after its run up, you have to change your ideology. You can't have that same ideology at 50 cents when it did a 10x and then think, oh, this thing's gonna 10x from here. Like,
exactly.
You have to shift your mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, most of these tokens are at that point now where if you were to buy them today, you're gonna hold them for the long haul, at least another year. Right? In 6 months, we don't know, but I'm saying, like, you know, like, just like that's the mentality that I have for Quant. That's the mentality I have for, I don't think KDA, but maybe like Cardano, HBAR. You already missed the run up. Like, it doesn't mean you missed a train. It just means you missed that massive influx of capital that you could have gained.
If you wanted to make profit this year, you missed it over there.
So you just have to switch from being a speculative hype investor, which is not a bad thing because you find a project really early, you can FOMO in. It's safe to FOMO in because it's what's the damage? It's under 3 cents. It's 7 cents, 8 cents, 10 cents. That thing goes to 50, 70, 80 cents plus. You know what I mean? You're good. But then if you're already buying after it did that, you look at the chart, it's already done that. Then you have to shift your mindset. Okay, do I really believe in this project moving forward?
It's kind of like VRA, right? VRA did some crazy stuff during this year. You know what I'm saying? But it's still technically sitting at 3 cents. So, I mean, some people will look at that and be like, oh, I could do it.
Can it hit 90 cents? Can it hit $1? Can it hit $2?
Probably, just not this year. I don't think.
You know, like, you just got to... Do you guys hear that?
No, they won't be. It was kind of low, but they won't hear it. For those of you guys who don't know, this is Dante Defi. He's on right now.
What's up, guys?
He's been on the whole time. I'm just kidding.
He popped in.
He hacked us again.
Guys, it's been rough, guys. It's been rough.
Hey, I hear you, Dante. I hear you, man. But
How's it going, guys?
Going well.
it's going, man. We just
Monday.
went over the market. We're down a significant amount.
We got some. We
Yeah.
have some crazy news articles. I know you don't really care about news, but I think these.
No, I mean, I care about the news if it's actually relevant, not
Yeah,
when it's
dude,
just because we have to go over the news.
Yeah, this is like legit, all like relevancy.
Regulatory? Oh, relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go through them quick, but we want to hear you. Now we have you on here today. Like, we want to hear what you think. Like, let's go with that first one.
Yeah, I've not been tracking on the market at all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with some FUD
right
that's going on with regarding Bitcoin. Then we're gonna dive into everything else. So I got these two articles I want to show you guys, and we're gonna dive into the meat and potatoes of the show. Right. So this first article is about the Bank of Russia. Now, do we really care what Russia's doing? Probably not. But the Bank of Russia is basically banning mutual funds from, or their mutual funds from investing into Bitcoin, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Russia just said, you know what? Screw you guys. We're not going to let you do it. It says the Russia Central Bank continues its strict policies regarding cryptocurrency industry, now officially, this is the thing, officially banning mutual funds from investing in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So, you know, there's a lot of people that are in Russia that invest in Bitcoin.
Are they going to say at some point in time they're going to allow it or something?
Nope. They're just like, nope, not going to allow you. Because
they're probably trying to flood the price.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's the FUD. But I mean, in Russia, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people use VPNs. So, I mean, let's be honest here. You got to be using a VPN anyway, majority of the time, especially like if you're in the United States.
Yeah, but Russia has only one industry-related exchange-traded fund
so far. But they're not even allowing for you to do it at that point. Now there's just official that you can't even invest in it, which is.
Oh, they're planning on launching a blockchain-focused ETF.
Yeah, but it's not related.
And then this
not related
ETF
to any crypto.
Will be called blockchain economy and will invest in stocks and related to blockchain adoption. I think they're just trying to they're just trying to figure out. They're just trying to stall. That's what it is. I think they're eventually gonna invest. They're gonna allow it. There's no. It's inevitably going to be allowed in Russia. They're just stalling to figure out like, okay, let's get our hands on it.
Kind of like China.
Yeah. The U.S. can't really do that. Right, we can't just ban stuff. Like we have to vote and stuff. They can do that. So I think it's just stalling. It's just all right. Just stop everything and let us figure out how to best allow you, the citizens of Russia, make money, and then make sure we make our money. Because we had touched on articles before that they're gonna charge every transaction and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I think they're just stalling. They're stalling to let adoption. They're stalling adoption right now.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. is still trying to get stuff together.
So Dante,
I think everyone's just trying to figure it out. You know?
Yeah. I think it's just like, all right, hold on. It's moving way too fast. It's moving way too fast.
Dante, you know about Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, the Bored Ape NFTs, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you know how like they're considered like a blue chip NFT, right? So this article came out. This guy's totally fat fingered. He's probably pissed. This dude, basically, I don't know if it was the middle of the night or what happened, but he sold this Bored Ape right here for $3,000 instead of $300,000. He thought he.
I forgot to tell you.
Oh, sorry, you can't see. Sorry, Dante. I forgot, man. Here we go. Share that screen. So he ended up selling this Bored Ape. He thought he put 300,000, bro. He put 3K, and it literally went by so fast. A bot sniped it in like 2.2 seconds. He couldn't even cancel.
Oh my god!
It was over, dude. He's so sick.
Oh my
he's
god!
Sick.
I feel so sorry for him.
That's why I
preach.
You
gotta pay attention to detail.
That's why I preach that.
Oh my gosh,
bro!
Terrible, man.
You pay attention to things like
that. But not even. It's not even about the Bored Ape. Think of this as you sending money from one wallet to another one, and you miss one number, even though you copy and paste it. But what if you say you don't want to copy and paste? Maybe you want to manually put the number in because it's from your computer down to your cell phone or something. And you think you're sending money to your wallet, and you send all of your USDT to some other random dead wallet. You know what I'm saying?
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like I've done this so many times. Not this specifically, but where once you get good at it, you start trading quickly, right? You start moving stuff from KuCoin to MetaMask and doing all these things far more quickly. there's always the risk that you can do that, or obviously when you're selling too.
Yep.
But that just sucks. That really sucks, man. I hope he's all right.
No, he's dude. I can almost guarantee you he's pulling his hair out because in this article it states that he's been trying to sell this thing for a while. He's been trying to offload it because I don't know, maybe he has some life stuff he wants to do. Maybe he wants to buy something else, some more investments, whatever.
Yeah.
He sold it for $3,000, and a bot sniped it so fast, bro. It's literally like people will be online looking like, damn, who's gonna sell it for cheap? Who's gonna sell it for cheap? And this 3,000 popped up, and someone said, "Whoop."
Pay
Dude,
attention to
crazy.
detail. That's all I can say. Just pay
Wow.
attention.
That just means that if a bot is picking it up, that means that no one's gonna get lucky and find that for 3K, basically.
Never.
Yeah.
It's over. It's probably
sucks.
already gonna be the same day he bought it for $3,000. It probably already sold for $250, $300.
That blows.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's like my biggest nightmare. Honestly, biggest nightmare is accidentally like putting in limit orders or something where you forget a zero. I mean, now that don't think about it, because honestly, the more you think about it, the more like subconsciously it gets in your head. Like,
Yeah, we got to pay attention to detail. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
If you don't pay attention, instead of selling,
That's why I like double check, triple check, quadruple check everything I do.
Yeah, and that's why I send only a little bit at a time.
I'm like, okay, is this right? I'll check the contact address 20 times. Like, is this it? All right, is this it? All right, is this it?
Yeah, you have to, bro.
Or else please be right, even though it is. I even double check it when I have it saved.
That's smart, man. That's smart, because I can tell you, again, like I said, I get too excited sometimes, or I'm like trying to move stuff fast for no reason, really, just because I want it to be done.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying, not that I'm not paying attention, but it's like I've done it so many times that I'm used to it. So it's like you do it way quicker than you used to be able to do it. But then at a point, it's like, whoa, that's kind of scary. I just sent that all without even like I used to, like you said, like move everything in portions. I wouldn't move everything all at once type thing. But now I've done it so many times, like from KuCoin to AVAX. Like I've done that so many times.
Too, yeah.
That, like,
Yeah,
I feel like I just do it. And
but
it
at
works,
that point, your
quick,
wallet should be like attached to sending.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's not like you have to pay attention to detail to
No.
that. But like
No,
if you have like a Polkadot wallet, their wallets are different. So it's like Polkadot.js or whatever, and you can send your Polkadot from KuCoin to that wallet. But the wallet is super sketchy, and the website is kind of sketchy too. It just looks like a weird kind of website. So you got like 100 Polkadot or 1,000 Polkadot, and you send it all, and then it never gets there. You're like, well, damn, it's just taking forever. You wake up the next day, it's still not there. You wake up the next day, it's still not there. You're gonna freak out 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're going to be moving it to a unknown wallet, or a wallet that is just newer to you, I suggest you sending a little bit, whatever the minimum is, and see if it gets there. Once that gets there, all right, send the mother load, then you're good to go.
Just you live once, just send it all.
Yeah. You can do that with
gosh.
$1,000.
I wouldn't do that with 100,000, 500,000.
It just still sucks,
know?
man. I can't believe that. If
Yeah.
I was holding that, if I was holding that NFT, I would be like, I have at least 3,000 or 300,000, however much it's going for, because I'm like, I could sell at any moment.
Exactly.
So
I got 300,000 in my back pocket, irregardless of what crypto is doing right now.
yeah, that's
And
unfortunate, man.
he's pretty sick, man. He's pretty sick.
Well, my thoughts, and I hope he.
Yeah, hopefully,
I hope things
he's
make
okay.
sense
Yeah.
after that.
Good Lord.
Oh, geez.
Now on the show, you guys know that our first exchange, quote unquote, me and John's first exchange was Robinhood. That's what we bought Dogecoin on when we first got started. I would suggest anyone do that now, but hey, it is what it is. Now, this article showcased today that they partnered with Chain Analysis ahead of its crypto wallet launch. So, John, you want to kind of explain what's going on here, brother?
Yeah, they basically partnered with Chain Analysis to basically provide the functionality of their wallet. So, and then basically set up know your KYC, because obviously they're Robinhood's IPO company now. They're legitimized. They need to have KYC. They're registered in the US. So Chain Analysis is going to set up KYC for them, as well as tracking the transactions and stuff like that. So they basically released a result of the CEO Vlad. He sent over some Dogecoin to the external wallet. So that it worked. So just like how you would buy, if anyone ever used Robinhood, how seamless it was. You would buy a stock, it would says, "Oh, you just bought this stock. It's on the way to your little wallet, or whatever, your Robinhood portfolio."
Yeah.
So it's coming. That's pretty cool because Robinhood is very, very functional. I like Robinhood is very like
It's super user friendly.
It's dummy proof.
Yeah, it really is.
I feel
very
like
dummy
KuCoin
proof.
is the Robinhood of crypto. That's how I kind of
You
describe
think-
it.
you
with my
think
friends.
KuCoin?
I think Coinbase is.
Oh yeah, okay, fair. I guess it's just the
Coinbase.
green. But no, the reason why I say I don't mean it in the UI from a UI perspective or the ease of use. I mean
Yeah.
from the accessibility and like the level of knowledge you have to create a KuCoin
Yeah.
account and start trading crypto.
Yeah,
You
that's
basically
a little
can just
advanced.
start.
I
I think you're a little advanced.
I
I gotta fight you on that one, Dante. I'm gonna be honest with you because before I knew anything about crypto, when I first landed on KuCoin, I was
Yeah.
a freak, bro. For 3 months,
No,
I
I'm
stayed
saying
away
the
from
UI sucks. The UI is not intuitive, but in the sense that it does the same thing for crypto that Robinhood did, which is ease of access,
now
not
it
ease of
is,
use.
to me.
Ease of access, not ease of use. Meaning like you don't need KYC. You can just sign up and you have access to a lot of different crypto. To me,
Right.
what Robinhood did was a lot of people made a Robinhood account before they understood stocks.
And
The
it's
same
bought,
thing with
yeah.
KuCoin. I just got off like me and my buddies from back home. They all started a group chat with me. And like the one exchange I'm telling them to get is KuCoin. Why? Because they're going to be able to get into these things early. The same deal was with Robinhood. If you remember, at least when I was in college, like a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
Robinhood was the same exact way. It was like, oh, you can get all these random stocks and there's a chance that they could, 4 or 5x, whatever. And that's how I got into investing more frequently. I was always investing, or I was always like kind of conscious of investing just based on random things that happened when I was a kid. But like, I don't know. To me, I know what you're saying. For whatever reason, though, I feel like KuCoin will be the Robinhood. If it's not already, it's going to be the Robinhood of crypto in the sense that like it'll be the one that it's already one of the biggest exchanges.
Yeah,
It's just going to be the one that everyone knows, everyone like goes to, like, because it's also free trading too.
yeah, it is.
I feel to me, KuCoin just seems like, when I say like, oh, if you have a $500 or it doesn't matter what you start with in crypto, you could turn that into thousands and tens of thousands. Someone's more likely to do that on KuCoin than they are Coinbase, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you have to be a little bit more advanced, slightly more advanced.
Yes, you need to. You learn. What I'm saying is like
Yeah.
everybody will learn on KuCoin, and
Yeah.
like if you're if you're willing to learn the exchange, it is not intuitive. But then once you learn it, it's not as
Yeah.
complicated, right? But it takes some time.
of
There's a
course.
learning curve.
Yeah.
There's definitely a learning curve.
I mean, Coinbase, I like Coinbase, man, but I mean, I don't know. I would be more biased to crypto.com, to be honest with you. And that was before the name change and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Crypto.com was just simpler for me. And then it came on top of, them having their own card. And then, later on, of course,
What about Voyager?
Coinbase. I never really got into Voyager, man.
I
I'm gonna be
used
honest with
Voyager
you.
when I first came into space.
I never got into Voyager.
Way back when.
I heard it was good though, but I just never got into it.
The end of last year. Yeah, I used Voyager when I first started.
Mhm.
It's super basic, super simple, very easy to use. I like Voyager too, and it had HBAR and it had Luna, and it also had Cardano. Those were the ones that I wanted to get into.
Mhm.
And yeah, Voyager was good. It's like a very easy, or very, very easy interface compared to anything like KuCoin.
Don't they have their own coin as well?
They do. I had their coin as well, VGX or something.
Yeah, something like that or something.
I 2x or 3x on that and then sold it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we heard about Voyager, it was in that Discord group, John. Remember the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my profits from this project and I'm gonna put it all into Voyager."
yeah.
And we were like, "Voyager, what the hell is that?" And he was like, "Oh, it's the best exchange and da 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 da. It has staking and all this other stuff." And I was just like, "All right."
That's just to go back. It's pretty funny seeing how Robinhood finally that's like literally how a lot of people are right now. Is like they have a job or they're doing some type of content. A lot of people are transitioning into crypto. Robinhood was just stocks, and then Dogecoin blew them up. What are they doing? They're changing their business model. They're adding crypto. They're building a wallet. It literally says your Doge is on the way. Like they sent it to an external wallet. Like it's finally here. And I was just like watching videos. People changed their whole YouTube channels. They were doing law. They were doing tax. They were doing certain things. Now they're incorporating crypto. I saw a gamer. A gamer said, "Oh, I'm done doing regular gaming. I'm doing crypto gaming now." So he's doing gaming that gets paid in crypto, and he's like, "That's where the transition's coming. It's starting to come. People that are prominent, that already have a following, that have money, that have businesses, they're eventually going to move into crypto. And you understand that these people are gonna bully their way to the front of the line. They're gonna bully their way to the front of the line because they already have money. They have a following." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They weren't involved in crypto. Right. They may not have been in crypto for all this time.
But I think they won't just come in. I think a lot of them, they're far behind in terms of understanding of crypto. That's why.
Oh, again,
think about the fact that
they have the resources to learn faster, though.
They do, but they don't know the space yet.
Yeah.
And this is why
they're gonna lose a little bit more money.
This is why being in the space, and this is another thing I was thinking about. You have to lose money in crypto first before you make any money, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, I felt like everyone's story, when I think of my story in crypto, it's I lost money first. Before I did anything, it was you lose a bunch of money and then you realize, all right, this is not just some I'm not just gonna mindlessly put my money into things. I'm gonna try and, take my time and really find some good investments here.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody does that, and that's how everyone starts off. And it's just about how much you lose and how much you're willing to learn afterwards.
Yeah.
Some people, will just lose and then they exit the space and then either enter back in when we're at 70K and going towards 100K, or they decide to stay when things were kind of not in the best place for them.
Yep.
And I think a lot of the people who have been successful in crypto are the people who lost money and managed to stay.
Yeah.
Because just using my own experience, it's like I was at the point where I was like, I lost a lot of money at the start of the year being an idiot and trading on Bybit. And I was like, man, I can't believe I did this. Like all I had was like, I had a couple grand and I lost a lot of it. And I only had a little bit of Cardano, at the time. The dollar worth of that Cardano was not a lot. Cardano was under 20 cents or whatever. But then I was like, well, I know Cardano is going to do well this year, and there's a good chance it could go to $10 by the end of this year. I was tracking on it going to $10. Obviously, that didn't happen anywhere close to that.
Yeah. Right. But I had that prediction
still had a good monumental run.
It still had an unbelievable run up. It still had an unbelievable run up this year. And again, I sold Cardano too late. But again, you live and you learn, right? Like whatever. I was holding on to my bag Cardano because it is a long-term play. But the other thing about it is there'll be more opportunity to get into Cardano.
Exactly.
You can make
100%.
you can make the 10, 20, 30x on that money that you have in Cardano or even Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever. And then this is what I've learned is then you put it in. You don't need to get in as early as you think you do into those. You just need to preserve your capital in those. You can take what you make from all of those plays that are really, really early, really, really good plays. The 15, 10x, like LCX, we could probably say, even from here, is a 10x play.
KDA
is to me, VXV, all of those. Yeah. You already know everybody knows the cryptos we're into. So it's like Alliance Block to me. Yeah. Like all of them. Like I keep saying it, at least to myself. And we talk about it in the Patreon too. Like I had a post there, it's still the same old in terms of the ones that we have conviction on. Those ones will in terms of purchasing power for more crypto will increase our bags substantially.
The thing that's interesting is that those projects actually will be better off if you actually put more capital into it. Yeah. Putting $1,000 in a Cardano isn't going to make you much. You have to put a lot of capital in Cardano at this point in time. HBAR as well. Those type of tokens that have billions and billions of supply.
$1,000 in a Cardano wouldn't even get you 1,000 tokens.
Yeah,
that's we get you like 820 or something.
You have to put in a substantial amount into Cardano to actually get some good gains from it. At least get 5, I'd say 10,000 tokens of Cardano to actually make some damage.
That's gonna cost you damn near 13 grand.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point in time, think of the tokenomics. You can't. HBAR too. HBAR was 3 cents in December of 2020. It's 22 cents right now.
I think.
Come on.
I think when Cardano was like 17 cents or something, it was so cheap, man, compared to what you just said, 15K for 10K.
Yeah.
I remember thinking how much do I need to save to get to 10K Cardano? and it was not that much.
No,
like
it was probably it was more close to like maybe 3,000 to 5,000.
It was so much more realistic. And I remember I split like my total net worth at that time was like literally like $6,000. That's all I had, and I lost like 90% of it trading. But I split like 3,000 between VeChain and Cardano. It was the best thing I ever did because it saved me. It saved me from basically losing all of my, money to spend in crypto. Because after that, VeChain did unbelievably. It went to like 23 cents. 23 cents from there. Like, it was insane. I was just like, I don't know why. I was so committed to holding those bags, but I was lucky enough that I just decided to sell. And I was like, I'm going to try and make back what I lost, trading. I'm going to try and get into these other altcoins. And that's when I, went down the rabbit hole of finding QUANT, finding all of these other projects. And then, eventually we find each other. So it's like, it all worked
Dante,
out.
not to cut you off though, but did you hear what's going on with time right now?
No. With the what they're trying to do with the new reward system.
Yeah, they're trying to do a vote though.
What do you think about that? It has to be a vote
though, so I'm not concerned.
So it was something that was like being proposed, right? So I was trying to,
so they're proposing whether they should continue.
Can we pull it up on the screen?
Sure.
If it's up there, I think I just joined it. I just joined it. It's in their Reddit page. So they have like this.
I was like looking.
Isn't it? Don't they have a Medium article or something?
They may. So what I was reading is very interesting. So to me, it looks like a good way to actually bring the price of time up, so that it's not only based on kind of the treasury backed value of time, where we have like this certain price, right? If and like the rewards would be they'd be paid out in ETH.
They
partnered with SushiSwap too.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, I like that they are already identifying like the cracks in their system, and it's not like there's deep cracks in terms of, we already know that the protocol works, but like I like the idea of they're trying to convince people in any way possible to hold their time in time and lock up those tokens. And when there's obviously the more supply that's locked up and the more of their own liquidity that they own, the more control the protocol has over everything that's going on. And keep in mind, to the people who are not too deep into time, it's open source, and it's not, it's basically a decentralized computing network. It's not something that's operated by anybody specifically. So when I say that, the protocol is, holding that liquidity, it's executing all of those transactions and trades, and so the way that they can actually increase the price is by no longer, diluting the supply of time with the rewards being paid out in time.
Right.
Which I agree with would be a good idea. I was reading that a lot of people are saying that, even if they get paid out in a different currency, they're just going to buy more time, but that's fine, because as long as we're not diluting the supply and we're holding the value of time, it's going to increase. So it's going to have a far more, like, to me, store value, which it's supposed to be, right? It's meant to be a store of value at the end of the day, or a kind of like a hedge against inflation, or the dollar or Bitcoin or whatever. So anyway, I'll let you talk. I did read a little bit about it.
Yeah, I watched the whole video about it.
I thought it was pretty interesting, man. I think it would be great to get, I think it would be great. I think it'd be great to get paid out in other tokens, whether you get paid out in MEM, AVAX.
But people can just put reallocate the money back into time, and then that basically you're doing your own rebase, because you're getting paid. And whatever token you want, you put it back, and you're simulating your own version of a rebase.
I mean, with auto compounders though, depending on what you get paid out in, like say for instance Spell, or say for instance MEM or something, you can take those and auto compound them, and then basically get like rebases on top of rebases. I mean, you could theoretically sell it off and buy more time, which most people are going to do, but this is just another way of making more passive income.
You got to go on a vote though. That's why it's a DAO. And DAO means that they're going to.
Well, the reason why they're going to the voting system is because Ohm is already on a voting system, but technically Wonderland
is not.
It's the creator, Daniel, I think his name is, right? People are criticizing him because he made some moves with the treasury and stuff.
without
without other people's consent, and they were like, well, what the heck, man, technically, this is tied in with abracadabra money, which is still technically you, so it's like a conflict of interest. But
a DAO is supposed to be has a governance board,
and that's why I think they're coming out with this now. So you're gonna have to go through the general discussion process, and then after that you're gonna have to go through the request to comment. Then once all this is taken care of, then it can be proposed, and then they have their final closing thoughts and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm with it, man, because then that takes the thinking out of it. That takes all the people complaining, oh, this guy's only in it for his money, oh, da 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 da. It gets rid of all that FUD, So I'm actually down for it. And as far as like paying out in time or paying out in something else, honestly, I would rather get paid out in something else rather than time.
Yeah, I think to me, I think we just have to trust the process. All right, if you're going to commit to the long term, okay, and I know I'm not even going to acknowledge the people who don't, agree with the people who are talking about the long-term sustainability of time or home. I think there's going to be crashes along the way. The market shows that there's volatility and crashes along the way. It doesn't mean that it's not going to exist in the years to come or the months to come. It just means that, there's going to be volatility. But the point is, like, when I first read or initially, was reading about the new, I guess, like the implementation of a different staking system and all that, to me, I get the idea and it makes sense, because the only problem I see now with time is that they are diluting the supply in order to pay out the stakers.
Yeah.
And the whole issue with the bonding versus staking, that becomes a decision that will draw people away from it, just for the fact that there's a possibility that they're being diluted by the people who bond. And we understand that obviously if you're bonding at a lower percentage than what is being paid out in staking in terms of the 5-day reward, then you won't be diluted in the sense that technically the people bonding are not making as much as you are. But, that will draw people away from the protocol. And it is something that I'm glad they're at least looking into and acknowledging that there can be a fix for that. If you look at StackOS, they have an absolutely brilliant idea with their node requirements and how they're going to pay out for their nodes.
How much are nodes going to be on Stack? Do you know?
$200, and that will be what it always costs to own a Stack node. So basically, yeah, let's go to Digital Asset Threads. It's actually brilliant.
Digital Asset Threads?
Yeah, he's the man. He's
Is that his Twitter?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys aren't hip.
I'm not hip,
gotta get
man.
hip. You guys gotta get hip.
I follow him. I just haven't been keeping up with him, but I follow him.
We should have him on the. If you ever wants to get on the pod, he's extremely knowledgeable based on his tweets.
Dude, I'll hit him up.
Yeah, let's hit him up because, he's a cool dude.
I'll hit him up.
He's also 23, so.
Yeah,
I was like, it's our Jordan year, bro.
Is he doxxed or he's not?
What do you mean?
Like, is he public or he's like a ghost?
I guess he's a ghost.
Okay.
In the sense that he's an anonymous.
What do you guys think about Ring? I've been hearing rings everywhere. Ring.
Yeah, I have been too. There's people sending me emails about Ring, so I'm getting scared. I don't know if I think we were all getting carried away at one point or another with the DAOs. I think, and so after I decided to put everything back into time, I've just kind of exited looking into the new DAOs, because until there's one that I really think is like Time or Ohm, I'm not interested, just for my own sake, because I've already lost 30% of my portfolio in the last 2 weeks. I don't need to be putting more into Ring or whatever. I think they're all right now they're all making people money, right? Which is cool. But again, it's like the preservation of wealth thing and being conservative. It's just not probably the best idea for me personally, but
I want to know.
A lot of people are talking about Ring for sure.
Do you have to pay for the Stack node with Stack tokens? With the value? I'm assuming, right?
No. You have to pay well, if you pull up I can't see it on your screen.
What do you have?
So it's kind of complicated. He has a whole thread on it.
I think that's it right there.
I think this might be
It's a little bit complicated to understand initially. I don't know if I retweeted something else, but basically, it's they want to scale as much as possible.
Yeah.
So
I think
they're
it's
not
this one.
going. So if you look at Strong, basically Stack is doing Strong better. And I remember when you guys remember when we were like, oh, or at least on my channel, people were asking me about Strong, and I was talking about, I think there's going to be something that we can get into, guys, that is the next Strong, or is just as good of an opportunity as Strong. And I think it's Stack. And I say that because basically the earlier you get in, the better, because you're getting a node, and a node is represented by an NFT that has value. And people are basically going to pay a premium for your NFT because it's a certain generation node that you have. So the earlier you get in, the earlier generation
more valuable
NFT you get. But the point is, no matter if it's today or 2 years from now, $200 to have a stack node. So that means the bar to enter is very low, which means they can scale the network very, very quickly and very, very efficiently if everything works out, right? Like I'm talking from I'm talking from if everything works out. This is what would be the case, is that basically you're getting paid, and you're getting a guaranteed salary almost for running a node. And I won't go into the prices. It's basically like getting $80 a month, or paying like $80 a month to make like $100 and something a month guaranteed on at least one node. And you can, so say you buy 10 nodes, you're making serious dough.
Yeah.
And and you're not getting paid out in Stack. You're not diluting. You're getting paid out in ETH. You're getting paid out in, I think, ETH or USDT, but I think it's
either Ether. You said Ether Ohm, one of the two.
Yeah, so it's
Ether Matic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ether Matic.
Okay, so yes, that makes sense. Why would I say USDT? So basically, you're getting paid in the network tokens, right? So you're getting paid in Matic or Ethereum, so the founders of this, when you go and listen to them talk, you can tell they've definitely done their research, because they know and they've heard a lot of the problems with things like Strong and things like other node kind of cryptos, is that they don't like getting paid in the same currency as the system,
because they'll eventually go to zero.
Exactly. And so that's the issue that people have with Strong, is like everyone loves it until the fact that they cannot get paid in a network token, and they realize that they're diluting their own tokens value the more that the more rewards they're getting and the more people that join in. So there's no incentive to have, just like with time, and why time feels like such a Ponzi, because you want to get all your buddies into it.
It's a Ponzi that works.
the more people we get in, the better for the network and the better for your bags. And so it's the whole idea of the virtuous or the continuous cycle of value, where everybody, like each actor in the system, gets an equal or adequate amount of value from the network, so that they don't have incentive to break the chain. That's what Stack is. Again, this is in an ideal world. Stack is trying to do that. Whether they can do that or not, they're the closest I've seen to at least a plan. Because like I think a lot of people think it should be super simple to be able to create a decentralized network that's sustainable like this, but it's really not, because people's expectations, you look at what time has done to people's expectations. I think it's 582 APY for Stack. That's if this came out before
587.
all of if this came out before all of the DAOs, everyone would be like, that's an amazing return on your investment. Annual compound of 582. But now that we have these DAOs and we have 80,000 APY on time, people look at that and they're like, well, yeah, that's all right. That's pretty good, I guess. Like, that's how I looked at it. I was like, that's pretty impressive, though, if you really, really think about it. If this is the next Strong, because I look at Strong and I'm like, when you go and look at what they're doing, it's very interesting, and it could be like, one of those blue chip cryptos.
Some people have quit their jobs and are fully like, they only live on Strong for now.
And I, like right now during this dip, I'm wondering if I should do the same. Not that I'm, or like just, what is stopping us from grabbing a massive bag of Strong, rather than, holding on to the 8 cryptos or whatever that I hold right now, holding maybe 3, and one of them being a massive bag of Strong, and just letting that ride and having time, obviously, as well.
You know, the thing is that kind of trips me out, and I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. Like, I feel like like in the past, we went from like, you know, Bitcoin rises, then, you know, Ethereum, then the altcoins and the meme coins and the NFTs, blah, 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 all that jazz. But now I'm starting to see it changing a little bit more. Now we got the DAOs introduced, and now everyone's kind of like, let's go into this passive income play instead of trying to buy these different alts.
Well, they had metaverse
why
right
not
before
just
this.
make the money?
It was poop
this
coins,
is the thing, man. Like what time has done. I remember I tweeted it, and like we were talking about it. Obviously, is like time and Ohm to me changed the game, and Strong as well. They changed the game in the sense that now, and this will happen over time. And this is I was reading this tweet, and it was so good. I need to find it, and we need to talk about it eventually. It described that basically Bitcoin is subject to basically like financial money. So basically what happens in the Fed, what happens in traditional markets, all of those things affect the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will always be tied into institutional money. It'll always be tied into the real world, quote unquote, before the metaverse world, before Web 3.0 world. It'll be the only piece of the old world that we have in crypto. Bitcoin will be reliable to a lot of the institutions and organizations that, you know, and just in general, investors that, you know, follow what the Fed is doing, follow what the US government's doing, make decisions based on that, blah, blah, blah. How we've always looked at gold and basically non-productive money. So non-productive money is money that is either store of value or cash, because non-productive meaning it's not making you money on your money. It's not an investment really in the sense. Well, Bitcoin does that, but eventually Bitcoin, so like this is the idea, is that Bitcoin will be so saturated that it's just a store of value and a hedge against inflation. But that's actually such a small amount of what people want to put their capital into. People want to put their capital into productive assets, aka real estate, you know, stocks, anything that is going to make them a return on investment, right?
Right.
And that amount of money is trillions and trillions of dollars. And so what we're seeing right now, like, is the start of people realizing that it's cool to hold a crypto, and maybe it'll, you know, moon to 10x when the hype comes around, and we'll wait for that day, and we'll, you know, whatever, like it could take 2 days, it could take 2 weeks or 2 years, right, before that happens. But, you know, everyone's expecting just because Bitcoin's going up, all these altcoins will run. But now if we have actual productive assets in the crypto space, it's, again, just a way to lock up capital. Like when the market is crashing, everybody goes to their hedge. Everybody goes to time, or everybody goes to Ohm, or everybody goes to Strong or Stack, somewhere where they can still make money even though their bags are bleeding. And that will allow people to hold the bags that bleed, because they won't sell, because they're still making money somewhere. There's still capital that they're bringing in. It's awesome.
That's so crazy how, like, because I mean, theoretically, that could be your bear market play.
Exactly.
You
this
know what
literally
I'm saying?
My portfolio right now is prepared for the bear market. It's prepared for the bear market.
Mine too.
Ready. It's ready for if that moment came, because every single crypto that we hold is legit. And the only
There's no need to sell any of them.
Exactly. The only other two that I have that are outside of those, you know, the 1% that we want to be holding for hopefully years, is Time and Stack. And what are both of those trying to do? They're trying to make me money when everything else is not making me money.
Exactly.
But it's still, but what it's allowing me to do psychologically is hold those other bags that are bleeding and not feel absolutely terrible about it, and worry about losing too much, because I'm like, well, at least I'm making money here. At least I can look at the rebases. At least, you know, when Stack goes live, at least I can say, all right, I'm still making passive income. If a year from now or 2 years from now, when we're sitting here making this podcast again, right? And we are like, you know, we could be completely living off of this, right? We could be completely
100%.
living off of this
100%.
because, at least for me right now, with how much I have in time, the daily rebase is more than enough for me to live off of, right?
Yeah.
It's just about it. It's so why haven't I quit my job and just decided to live off of time rebases? Is because we don't yet know if it's sustainable. And the same thing for all of these things.
Exactly.
But if we were to say, like, in this present moment, we're at the place where we already need to be for this to work out. It's already happening. It just needs to sustain itself.
And that's what I was talking about this morning. I put a post out in the Patreon, man, and I was basically just saying, like, you know, all these different DAOs, we don't know if they're gonna last, but it would be dumb for you not to,
Time being.
you know, play with it for the time being. You know, you might as well jump in.
We're in a space right now where the attention is just moving around. So obviously we're in the meme coin era. We had the meme coin era. We had Bitcoin, altcoins, metaverse tokens took over the meme coin era. And then like those are like the not deep crypto investors that are focusing on the metaverse tokens. Everyone that's buying all this metaverse hype and gaming hype, those are people that are not deep level crypto investors. The deep level crypto investors are moving on their hype towards the DAOs and the decentralized side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where the hype is at. It's just like the meme coin era. If you were either in meme coins or you were in utilities and fundamentals.
Yeah.
Now you're at the point where you're in this metaverse or you're in the DeFi.
Yeah.
Because all coins are there. They're stagnant right now. They're just chilling. So now there's like a whole new layer of where the attentions are going, where the masses are going.
Yeah, there was another, again, I need to find this tweet and I will share it with the Patreon, or I'll share it with the I'll share it somewhere once I find it again. I was reading it like half asleep, but it was amazing because it was articulating so well what we're talking about. It was basically saying, like, you know, basically every bull run prior to this has been people just wanting to look at a dollar value and make money. That's all it's been about.
Yep.
But and these are people who have been here saying, but now the money that's here now is the money that's looking deep into the technology and choosing the ones that they believe are going to last. And they're not selling. They're okay with the price going down because they believe this is game-changing, life-changing world, going to change the world type technology. So they don't care about it going down 30% or 40%. Because to be honest, I don't really care that my portfolio is down 30%. Because the only reason I did care initially is if I was going to sell or if I was going to buy back some more. The realistic thing is I could have sold all at the portfolio all-time high and buy back now and have a lot more. But the only reason I'm not pissed is because of time. But the point is, like, there's so many more people coming into the space now that are coming not just to make money now in this moment by just getting lucky with sheep. They're coming in, they believe in the technology, they understand it, they now see the utility, and they're willing to hold it. They're willing to hold that. And that's going to keep money in the market regardless of what anybody says. We're going to still have a bear market. We're going to have a period of time where things aren't good for crypto. But we don't know if we're going through it right now and it is only going to last the next, month or two. Or maybe it lasts till it could last. We could sit where we are right now for the next year. I would be cool with it. Because guess what? That gives us so much time to accumulate. Yeah, it gives us so much time. And if you're in things like Time and Ohm and Stack, and if these developers develop these things to allow us to have passive income, what are we going to do? We're going to take our passive income, we're going to put it back into those cryptos, and it's just, we're ranging for a whole year where Bitcoin goes between 46 and 65. I would love that, guys. I would love it. I would be here every day, excited to be here, because I would tell you guys this is what's going on. We're formulating our plan for the moon mission that ends in whenever 2025, where we're at mass adoption, right? Like, the more time this takes to get to mass adoption, in terms of not necessarily more time, but I guess the less volatile massive run-ups we have where people get wrecked and liquidations and all these crazy things occur that shake people out, the less of that happens on the way there, the better. Because it locks up more liquidity for us to just have a more stable bottom. In terms of, if everybody who's here for the short-term gains leaves, we still have a core, because the crypto community, we give it credit because we're very deep and fond of it or whatever, and we're a part of it. But like, to me, it's like, we always say it, it's like, all right, if there's this many people who have bought into this and believe in this, that means there's going to be so many more that do the same. Just think about when you guys became believers, quote unquote, of the crypto space. How many more people are yet to be here? And I'm doing it too. It's like, I'm getting all my friends in, and it's like the community is growing, man. And like, I get it. The prices, to look at the prices, it sucks. And it's hard for everybody, but
But
you
I feel
gotta
like
try and look at the
I feel
bigger
like it
picture.
only sucks if you're only exposed to altcoins.
Well, it's like the more you know about crypto, the more you can convince someone to get in. Because if you don't know anything about crypto and you just start talking about crypto, they're just not gonna believe you. You have to know it yourself. So like, the more you know and the more confident you are, you can get someone to go, okay, I believe in this thing, and then allow them to activate and then start looking at it for themselves. Because you have to showcase how you got into it. How
Yeah.
did you fall down the rabbit hole? How did you research? So the more you're able to articulate your knowledge of crypto and pass it on to somebody and say, hey, this is how I found these tokens. This is why I'm bullish on crypto. This is, and you show them all this stuff, they'll activate and then follow your footsteps and then pave off and veer off in their way and find out what they like in crypto. That's how it always starts off. It should start off that way. No one just goes into a space and just knows everything.
Exactly.
You have to learn from somebody or something to start. And then you got to go through your own trials and tribulation. You got to start somewhere. So you go through it, you get your bumps and bruises. They buy their first token and then they lose on it, or they win their first, they make their first 2x.
Right.
You know, all it takes is a 2x. All
Yeah.
it takes is a 2x for you to believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you're good to go. You turn $100 in, now it's worth $200. You're profiting.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. That's it. Because then you
I
go
think
back.
everybody, yeah, I think
You know?
it's, we can always look at it one way or the other. I think there's obviously the part of us that looks at this and sees that we missed an opportunity to take profits. We missed an opportunity to do that. But I think at the same time, we've already gone through this once before this year. At least you guys have been here for that. And the point is,
Yeah.
what we didn't have back then that we have now, at least that we can be grateful for, is that we have time, we have we have Strong, we have these other options in terms of making some sort of capital that we can then go and put back into the bags that might have bled. And that's all right, because in the end, again, the point or the overall revolving or like the resounding message, at least for me, is like, we did our due diligence. We chose projects that even if we went into the bear market, we believe would still have enough capital to last. And I just don't see us going through a 2 to 3 to 4 year bear market.
Nope.
It just
I
doesn't. No way.
don't see
To
it
me,
happening either.
To me, I don't see it happening. To me, I see maybe a big bubble or a big-ish bubble, and then maybe, you know, like from wherever the top is, maybe 40, 50, 60%, but 40, 50, 60% of the top of this market
Yes, nothing.
could be where we are right now,
Yeah.
literally.
Yep.
So it's like, when you put it in that perspective, it's like, if this is the bear, if this is where we, you know, oscillate for 3 or 4 months, everybody who, even if you got in January 2021, you would be so
You will still be
far
way
in
ahead of
profit
everyone else.
that you'd be so far in profit that you still really don't need to be worried.
That window is closing though.
It's closed. It's closing very fast. That's
where you
why
look
it's
back
like,
the year before. Like,
yeah.
if I had done that this year, I would have been up this year, like last year. If I had bought Quant last year, I'll be up. That year is closing. That time frame is closing to where, yes, you can buy KDA at $10. But last year KDA was, or whenever, right? It was under $1.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
It was
So we're gonna look
pennies,
back
right?
a year from now. KDA's at like $70, maybe $100.
200.
Damn, 200. I could have bought KDA at $10. But you know, but the year before that, it was under $10. It's just gonna keep going and going and going.
Yep. Yeah, but I think with things like time, Ohm, you know, Stack, Strong, whatever these you know, the DAOs or whatever these nodes you can get into, if you're able to just, if the market does trade sideways, just as it is, consider this a quote unquote bear market. Imagine this is the bear market, and Ohm or time is at 4,300 or whatever. If you're able to stack that literally for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, depending on how much you have,
You just need one.
you
just
will
need
literally
to start
be
with one.
able to buy
get one.
whatever you want in the bear market and at this time.
You need cash on the sidelines. That's the number one thing. And I literally last night was reading up on the 1929 Great Depression. There's the market crash, the Black Thursday and Black Tuesday. I literally went through and just trying to learn from history. I've read and educated myself more on the crash of 1921. There was people at that time that literally said these are great buying opportunities when everyone else was committing suicide. People were depressed.
I know, and that's terrible, man.
Yeah, and that's how crazy like the mentality is when it comes to this stuff. And crypto's not even there yet, but we're at like a little sub level of it, right? Of thinking like that. There was people back then in the 1920s saying that. Like, oh,
I think there's people who
what the.
I think it's like it's all understanding. To me,
It's crazy.
what I've learned the most, or the hard lessons that I've learned the most, is that really you can be successful in markets. Like, again, like I was into the technology, I was into blockchain. That's the stuff that I paid attention to,
Right.
not the market aspect of things.
Yeah.
And so the market itself, I've learned so much. I think in the last year, I think you guys can say the same from, just the community in general, and just making the mistakes for yourself. Like, you've learned a lot about how markets work in general, and how psychology, like how much psychology plays into all of this.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like to me, again, like as soon as I remember we said this the first time we were ever on a podcast, like ever since COVID, like I felt like I've been in a simulation, and I still feel like that. I still feel like right now the metaverse is proving to us that we're in the matrix. Like,
yeah.
It's not that the metaverse is the matrix. It's that it's just showing us that we are in the matrix. It's that we are in what is the difference between the matrix or the metaverse and real life? Now there really the gap is closing. So now in real life, hopefully, at least in my opinion, now there's more risk to be taken. Now there's more openness and open-mindedness to be had, because technology is going to take us into places where we're not going to be able to limit or spread or stop the spread of ideas or culture or any of that stuff.
Our
right?
whole
It's
lives
going to
are gonna
change.
change.
It's all going to change.
100%.
In one of the articles we were going to talk about, the Florida is asking for funding to provide blockchain technology. Like, basically they're going to run pilots on blockchain technology to basically allow their car registrations to be on the blockchain. So when you get your car registration, it'll be verified on the blockchain.
Right.
You get it in a wallet. They're gonna do transactions. They're basically starting to shift everything over to blockchain technology, and then the metaverse. And Bill Gates, I don't know if people like Bill Gates now, whatever. He's saying in the next few years, people will no longer have to meet in person. Zoom is already a glimpse of it.
It's like
Zoom is a
this
glimpse
is the
of it.
paradigm shift, man. This
Zoom
is
is
the
a little
paradigm
taste.
shift, man.
What we're doing
Think
right
about
now,
think about it.
We're gonna be in the metaverse.
Exactly.
Dude,
Have
it's
a
so
thousands
crazy.
of audience.
But
It's
we'll be
almost
able to
like perfect
stand next
timing
to each
too.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
it's
at
almost
home
like perfect
Can
timing.
put their headset on and be there with us in the metaverse.
Exactly.
Listen,
Isn't
all right.
It's crazy.
Isn't that kind of crazy though? It just kind of blows my mind how a few months can literally change
Yeah,
your whole perspective.
Our whole perspective has
even
changed,
your
man.
medical
Mine is
records
too.
will be on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Your medical
Everything,
records.
man. This is the
You don't
point.
have
It's
to
like
leave your
look at
house to
think
verify
about
anything.
COVID. Think about what COVID taught so many people. There was either the people who, like I was just watching something yesterday, and it was talking about, at the start of the pandemic and when we went into lockdown, a lot of people were pissed and people didn't want to be inside
Yep.
and blah blah blah.
People bought a bunch of
And
toilet
I know
paper.
personally what I did, like my things happened so fast. Like I went from living in a house in college, finishing my senior year, a month later, moving out of my my house in college,
Your dorm room.
yeah, moving out, moving into my aunt's place, like, and literally being completely displaced from all civilization for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
And during that time, it was like I basically had time to reflect on so many different things. And like I think a lot of people were able to do that. And also a lot of people who were maybe, thought they were extroverts or thought that they like to do this, that, and the other, started to see the unconsciousness of all the things we're doing in day-to-day life. Like, do we really need to go into the office? Do I really need to go out every Friday and Saturday and get belligerent to stay like relevant with my tribe or my social group or this, that, and the other? People realize that you can be connected over the internet
And have the same amount of fun.
We do it. We haven't even met each other, guys. We haven't even met each other in person yet. But do I feel like I know you guys? Do I consider you
Hell yeah.
friends? Do I talk to other people and say, yo, those are my, like, these guys I started a podcast with, like, they're my friends. I have never met them.
That's how it was with Xbox and PlayStation.
Exactly. We're
I
used to it, man.
guys.
We're used. Gamers are used to this idea of like. In 8th grade, my best friends were all people I didn't know.
Me too.
They were gamer tags, bro.
That's
They were
crazy.
literally gamer tags.
Yeah.
I know,
So it's
I
like
know what they look like, but I just know their voice.
that was metaverse. Before the metaverse started, right? It's like you're building relationships and building communities over the internet. And
you don't care what
already
anyone
doing
looks
that.
like or anything.
Exactly. Now
Just
we're just taking to the
next
absolute
level.
next step where value is now being able to transfer at the speed of the internet, which was never the case.
Damn.
We've never been able to do that. So it changes absolutely everything because now we have a whole economy attached to all of the things we're speaking on. And we know that that is extremely valuable because guess what? You, me, anybody can do exactly what we're doing right now and make a living off of it and never leave their house.
Yep.
They
That
can
is
make a
so-
killing and never leave their house.
The crazy thing about this whole conversation, this whole episode, right, is if you got in and you just clicked randomly in this episode, and it was almost like you can't even turn it off. There's just so much information in here, so much understanding, so many different perspectives. It's just kind of crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
Like if I take myself out of my body, I would be wanting to listen to this right now. Like I can't really even fathom that we're having this conversation at this current time.
Because
just
we
doesn't
know
seem
it's
real,
almost like you know what's coming. Well, it's not almost. It is the fact that you know what's coming before it has really hit mainstream, before it's really hit everybody like to their core.
That's crazy.
Because you know when it happened to you, you don't know when it's going to happen to everyone else.
Exactly.
So you can only just go based on how you feel. And so like when you guys know I work a regular job and I've been working every single day basically the last couple of weeks just based on it being very busy.
Yeah.
And I'm around people who are not of that mindset at all. And so like when I get on the podcast with you guys, immediately it's like I'm in a new world, the world that I'm used to, the world that I know, because the old world is what everybody else is living in at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that we are better for that. It's just that whatever brought us here, just brought us here. We're here now. So we can't go back.
That's how the finance chick felt when we did a show with her. Her friends don't know about crypto. They don't really too much care for it.
She had to set boundaries and stuff.
Yeah, she had to set boundaries, bro. Like
They would ask her to go out, go out
all the time.
and and she's like,
No,
"Hey,
and
I'm
that's-
researching."
There's many. I don't know how old she is, but there's a lot of.
She's
There's
25.
not many people. There you go. There's not a lot of people our age that are willing to do that. And I think, again, like I've said it, like the people who need to be paying attention right now are the ones who are around my age that
Yep.
are either because this, especially when it's you, like if you're coming out of college or you're just starting to work a job, and I can tell you based on the sentiment of my generation from the people I know and the people who I'm friends with, people don't want to work a 9 to 5. People are waking up to the reality of, oh wait, most of my time is spent at work, and then most of my time outside of work is just preparing or having enough time to get all the things done before I have to go back to work.
Yep.
That's so depressing when you say it like that.
But it's
so
but it's
true.
literally the absolute truth.
It's the
And
truth.
it's something that I can't deny about my own life if I had to do that forever. And it's like, well, there's only two options here. I either make so much money that I never have to work a day in my life, or I live very humbly and, have to worry about, or not worry, but have to be very conscious of how much I'm spending consistently so that I live below my means so that I don't have to work a job. And I think both are, obviously out of those two extremes, I know the lifestyle I want to live. And I think you guys know the lifestyle you want to live, or the ideal day for you and your family or whoever it is.
Yep.
And if you can, and that needs more capital than what we have now, or what living below our means is giving us. And so we know that, well, if we're gonna need a lot of capital to live the lifestyle we want, then where do we need to put all our focus in? Crypto.
Whatever it's gonna get you to that.
Crypto,
place.
in my opinion, for so many different reasons, is
Crypto
the
changed
place.
my life.
It's for financial freedom. It's for bringing back power to the individual, which is like, again, those things are going to drive people far past just wanting to make money and making this a fad. That's much.
Yeah.
It's the next infrastructure layer of the internet.
Yeah, it's the next.
And it's time to have everybody
of
start
history.
taking it far more seriously.
Yeah.
In my opinion, again. And for those people who are here now, you guys are so. We said in the Patreon, it's like you are so early. We are
So
so
early.
It's
early.
literally oil from steam to oil CDs or tape cassettes, vinyls to CDs to MP3 to streaming, movies to streaming.
It's from exactly
social media.
When Kodak decided, I'll tell you the story
I mean?
of Kodak. Y'all know the story of Kodak, right?
Kodak Black? No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, Kodak Black.
Photography.
Yeah, no, I know
Kodak. Someone from Kodak invented the digital camera, but because Kodak
film.
was so successful and had such a lion's share of the market with film, they said, we're not going to use this for another 10, 15 years. Keep it quiet for now because we don't want to change.
Yeah.
And then what happened? If you go and look now, Kodak went bankrupt because they made that decision not to transition. And so if you want to say Facebook is the Kodak or Twitter is the Kodak, whichever.
But that's why Facebook changed. That's why Facebook changed to Meta.
See what's happening
Meta.
Right now,
they
right?
knew.
You see
they
what?
Know.
So when Kodak said no to digital film, and whoever it was, Fujifilm or whoever it was that
switched over to digital,
that actually went and took digital cameras to market,
we'd be doing film right now.
that was a paradigm shift. It didn't go
Canon?
back to film after that. It never went back to film after that.
Movies,
it was a paradigm
projectors are
shift.
nothing like that. Yeah.
So if we're at that
Used to
same
be-
point in time, where, all right, Facebook is the Kodak of whenever, and they just changed their name to Meta, and now we're at the paradigm shifting moment where things don't go back to the old world.
They don't.
Then we're here. We got in at the perfect time. And so we can only assume. It's crazy, guys. Like, I know it's crazy, and like people don't like to talk about uncertain things, and it's a very uncertain future that we're discussing. But you know, we got a dream, and I think now it's becoming less of a dream and more of holy
reality.
hell, this is really happening.
You know,
wow.
You know we're good because there's still people out there that still aren't gonna look at it. There's still people out there that don't care about crypto. Still,
and it's okay.
Still.
And it's okay because I guess the fact of the matter is, again, we are making our ideas, we are making our thoughts about this stuff and information about this stuff public.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're allowing for people to receive the information. It's just about whether they want to or not.
And they gotta activate that switch and change their life. Crypto changed the trajectory of my entire life, and I know, like, it set me on the path where I know that this is the end game. This is my end game.
Exactly.
For everything else I want.
Exactly.
We're in the end game.
This is
now.
my end game.
And it's crazy because, you know, it's like, it's crazy because,
I'm
like,
thankful now than before.
yeah, it always hits me, man. Like, it's crazy because, like, literally, like, the conversation we're having right now and the fact that we as individuals in our relationship as friends and as content creators together has evolved so much in such a short period of time that it's like, we'll look back at this, man. We'll look back at this and it'll be awesome to look back at.
Yeah.
And it'll be good times. And especially for everybody else who's listening too. It's a great time.
I got one more question for you guys, and then we can end the show on this question.
Yes.
Do you guys think if we would have got in 2017, when, you know, some people got in and the DAO started to pop up, you know, and, you know, time.
2017?
Yeah, no, if we would have got in 2017 and then we got to this current moment now, do you think we would have the mentality to want to invest in the into time and things like that?
Yeah.
Or do you think we'll be like, we already know what crypto is. That's just Ponzi scheming. It's not going to last. I'm under the impression if we would have gotten back then, we would have had that mentality because theoretically, all we had to do was hold to get to this point and have.
But that's when it goes back to
money.
respecting the space. If you respect the space, you understand that changes come. Changes and things, you got to look into it.
Yeah, but they'll look at it like,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
but if it's not broken, why am I fixing it?
I don't think I don't think like that.
No, I'm not saying you as a person. I'm talking about as like a generalization. Like, if somebody's making pretty good money staking whatever, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, why go to something like time
that's
to
just
be like
someone being lazy. That's just someone that doesn't care to continue to evolve. They're going to stay the same. That's anything in life. If you just think you know one thing and stick to that for the rest of your life, you're not going to evolve. That's not how evolution works. Evolution works by trying something new or something event happening to where the body or life or nature has to adapt, and then that spreads and continues going on. That's how everything evolves. How we make food, how we consume food, how reptiles are able to live on land and water because one reptile jumped on land, survived, and then had babies, and then it kept going. Like it's just how evolution is.
So true.
If you just say, "Oh no, put a tin hat on, I'm a hold for the rest of my life," that's all you're not gonna evolve. You be holding right now. You be holding Bitcoin up and down right now, doing nothing. just doing nothing.
That's why I kind of think. That's why I feel like we low key got into crypto at a perfect time because
I think we did.
it opened up our minds to see everything.
Yes.
I feel like the people that got in before, it's only buy and sell.
Yes.
Because
no,
there wasn't DeFi or any of that.
100%. You're so right about that.
They had nowhere.
So
they
right.
had nothing. There was nothing there.
You're so
NFTs,
right.
even NFTs. But me personally, I would have been like, what are NFTs? Oh, like I did now, right? This year, you would have looked at NFTs. You would have probably laughed at the Dogecoin people, but then you would have seen, wow, a lot of people are getting into crypto that didn't want to listen to me. Oh, we got something here. Then you start looking at staking. Oh, wow, banks are off crushing crypto. Wow, governments are buying crypto. Governments are trying to put crypto laws into their budget, trying to get funds to basically integrate crypto into their state. You know, lawmakers are debating, asking CEOs of cryptos, like, what do we need to do? What's going on? Why are we not ahead? Like, why are these other countries beating us? And there's so much bullish news that I just feel like the people that have made a lot of wealth, they're probably just like, I don't need to. I'm just gonna keep buying my tokens. But the people that are really respect space and love blockchain, love crypto, they're gonna embrace the new lanes that are open, because that's how the internet was. The internet was just a blog type product. You just read things. Then you were able to create things. Now you're able to sell things. Now you're able to watch things. It evolved. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting because you get in 2009, 2017, 2005, anytime before then.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing.
It was just buying and selling. That was it.
There wasn't even exchanges yet.
To me,
this
again, we look at. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. This is something that we have to get into. I think this is going to be a Patreon conversation. This is not a CryptoLogic pod conversation.
So what do we do?
Guys.
Do we stop here?
So we got to stop it here because this is
join
100% for the Patreon because this is awesome.
And this is all access.
Don't let me lose my train
layers.
of thought. So yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Write it down. Start writing it down on a piece of paper. Start writing it down on a piece of paper.
Honestly, guys, we would love to continue this conversation here, man. But
join us in the Patreon.
I think it's too much for the combo right now.
This
man.
Conversation that we're gonna have is all layers. Just letting you guys know. But obviously, there's more to it. But yeah.
Well, I know you guys found some value. I know you did. So
great value in the Discord right now too.
Definitely subscribe to the channel. Like the video, and if you happen by any chance want to hear the rest of this conversation, you can join us on our Patreon at The Collective, man. All right? Have a good day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace.